there's so much of business that's consistent of what needs to be accomplished. And then there's a little bit that's different in the service that we provide. I work with people in all ranges of business and find many things to be true at the core.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Touch, move, and inspire your employees. I love this. It is really powerful. But it will require for you to become a leader in order to achieve that, to touch, move, and inspire your employees in our organization. Um, Sometimes I ask into my employees, I say, guys, why you don't find another job? You see, you've been working with us for so long. You can even make more money. I know that. And the answer that we have from our employees is, Harry, we like to work with you and we are happy with the money that we are getting. So it's okay. So I think that uh, being a support for your employees, being a support for your team, touch, move, and inspire them. And I think give them capacity for growth and train them to learn new things. We always doing new things. You were asking me, Harry, how you doing with the podcast? Well, I came to my team and I said, oh, Lily, my girlfriend, she said that I had to do a podcast. And my team told me, what? What is this? I said, oh, no. And they told me, Harry, give us 3 weeks and we will make it work. Don't worry. We need to find out what is it more in depth because they all have a vague idea what was it. And but you won't believe after 3 weeks, our team, our director came and told me, Harry, just press the record button and that's it. Don't worry
There
about
you
it.
go. It's
And it
done.
goes to my social media, it goes to Spotify, it goes to Apple, everything goes. I don't even know how they're doing it, but it's a very complex engine behind the broadcast one is recorded. But they know me very well, when I tell them I'm doing this, I say, oh my God, to Harry, just make him press the button because if he had to move something, there's gonna be a problem. So,
Well, they know
uh,
you well.
oh, you're working with me for so many years, they know me exactly what what is gonna take. But also, you can see the proactivity of them, right? We never get in 17 years that I've been in business in my organization, you never hear this is not my job. Doesn't exist here in our organization because this is part of our core value. You see, we don't have so many employees, so employees have to multitask. This is something common. I multitask all the time, so I'm expecting this from my employees. So if you're an employee that like to learn and be a multitask, this place is perfect for you. If other employees that want to do a specific role and they want to say, okay, this is not my job, this is not my job, okay, they fall into this organization, it's not going to work because we multitask a lot. And but again, it's exactly like you said, Eden, touch, move, and inspire them. But how you, as an entrepreneur, because at the end of the day, for you to have a business, you have a product, you sell it, you make a profit, and that's it. You're in business. That have nothing to do with leadership. So when do you realize, Eden, that in order for you to drive success in your business, now it's not about selling your product and making a profit. Now it goes something even more complex. In order to attract leaders to your organization, you have to become a leader yourself. When do you discover this?
I think in the natural evolution of business, there's a moment. So person goes into business in the beginning, and I think as an owner, we know at the beginning we're going to have to work really hard. We're going to have to work really hard. We're putting in those long days, those long hours, those long weeks, those long years, and growing it up around us. We attract those first few employees, those people who are inspired by us personally and individually. but and my observation, there comes a point somewhere, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years in, where we look around and go, okay, now I'm getting tired, and when is this going to change? There's like we start to run out of steam. I've hired
Tell me
people.
about it.
My life's not getting better. And we get to that moment of something has to be different. And you mentioned that your team is inspired, they like you, they like to work with you. Some companies grow past the point where every person is working directly with the owner. And so moving into leadership has to be not only about recognizing that we want to reach people emotionally, that we do naturally by our own personality, but by being able to give people information about who we are in our heart that they can rely on and use for decision making. So when I talk about leading people, a big piece of that are those core components of a company culture, which are having a clearly articulated mission, an inspiring and communicated vision, and then values that frame our agreements about how we're going to work together and what's important to us as a company. Because those pieces come from the owner, and then, what I like to tell clients is, hey, if you have an employee and they make a decision and you don't agree with it, if they say to you, but boss, I thought about our mission and I looked at these two core values and I thought that this decision really matched those the best. And so that's why I decided this instead of that. Well, then it's a coaching moment, but you're going to be comfortable and confident that this person is thinking about your goals and who you are when they're making a decision. So I think it's important that we translate our personal leadership style into these clearly communicated frameworks for the team so that like my goal with my employees is that they will make the same decision that I would make even if I'm not in the room. Because if I'm going to be in the Galapagos for a month, they need to have good information about how to make decisions. So those that core values, mission, and vision are the key to shifting into leadership when we hit that point where we realize we have to.
Yeah, how to remove yourself from the equation. And I think that for me was kind of by accident because exactly I was there exactly like you. I'm this entrepreneur at the beginning that I don't trust anybody. And so my first business was in property. We managed to sell over 5 million. And I started this business like I don't trust anybody. I'm doing everything. I'm wearing all the hats. I don't trust anybody to do my sales because how can I give the keys of the flat to somebody, to an employee? What if they steal a computer from my tenants? Or I don't want to give access to my landlord to anyone. And exactly like this, and I was running the business, was making good money, but I was exhausted. After 2 years, I'm burning out. I'm waking up with the laptop in my lap, and it was not sustainable anymore. So then I had to surrender that ego. I had to surrender this. I don't trust anybody out of necessity because I couldn't literally operate. And then I started to hire people. But something happened that was Michael, which is that everybody that I hired was better than me at everything. I was not expecting this. They were amazing. I'm like to they guess my manager from the sales team. They start to rent the rooms, and I'm like guess how you do that? Takes me like 2 weeks. You do in a day, and even you just charge more money. You teach me how you do that. So. Uh, it happened that everyone in the organization started to come and they were all better than me at everything. I showed them how to find good properties and they were finding better properties than me. And how to rent the rooms, they were renting the rooms better than me. And I was telling to everybody, you won't believe my employees, they're amazing. They are better than me. To the point, yeah. However, in this process, I remember that I was in the office and they all coming to me and telling me, Harry, what can I do with this? What can I do with that? And at the same time, 177 tenants, they all want to speak with me. I'm like, these people are gonna kill me. I'm only one person. How everybody want to speak with me every day for what? So then you have the clients, which are way too many, and they just don't care. They want to talk to you. They don't know that there is another 116 people that want to do the same thing. They just want to talk to you. at the end of the day, and then you have the employees, the team also that again that better than me and everything. They're coming to me to ask me and say, ask me what you guys are all better. So I decided I put a sign behind my desk that said, okay, don't come to ask me a question if you don't have a solution. Come,
Exactly.
come with two or three solutions because otherwise you're gonna kill me between all you on the tenants. So then the employees start to come and they're asking, okay, Harry, I have this, and there are these three solutions. I propose, say, okay, great, pick your favorite. And so say, what I should pick? You already brought the solution. You choose. If it works, well. If it doesn't, it does. It's not because I'm gonna choose. It's gonna work better. You have actually better chance to pick the right solution than me. And then I started to do with this thing, the culture in the office. If you hear that some of them were joking, okay, Harry's useless, don't go asking anything because at the end of the day, you need to come with your own solution. Some of them they were joking and everything. But at the end of the day, I want to be part of the group. I want to be part that when they go out, I don't want that they tell, okay, let's go out without Harry. So I want to be in the group. I want to be together with them. I was one of them, you see. So that's why I released this control of, you decide, you do this, because I didn't want them that they see me like, oh, this is the boss that design everything that everybody want to do. Because I'm thinking when they're gonna go out, they're gonna go out by themselves, and I want to be with them, right? So bottom line, the thing happens, and one day I arrived to the office and they told me, Harry, go home. We don't need you. I'm like, what? What do you mean? You don't need me. Say, we can run this without you. You don't need to be here. Go home. I don't know. Travel the world. Do whatever you want. Don't come here because you're giving us compensation. You don't let us work. My manager,
Distracting
yeah,
purpose.
my manager told me, in fact, the only problem in this business is you, she told
Oh
me, because
no.
you come and talk to us, you don't let us work, go home, whatever. So I think that kind of by accident, Eden, I turn myself into this, exactly as you said, into this leadership position that you empower the leadership within the organization, to the point that one day there you become obsolete in your own organization. The whole thing it runs by itself. Which the first day that happened to me, I'm even asking them, you don't need paper in the photocopy, and they tell me no, we can get our own paper in the photocopy. So you know what I mean. So uh, it was a moment that it's like the change from the day and night, and this is what we want for all the entrepreneurs out there, that they need to know that this is possible. So
And I
what the,
think it's possible to do it not by accident, but by design. So that happened for you accidentally, your natural
literally
instinct,
accidentally,
those
I
things.
didn't know any better.
Well, and so there are things that we can do that help accelerate that, help that move faster by design when we
How
design
amazing that will be, because I
what,
didn't
sorry.
even know that this I did how amazing this will be, that by design you can plan your business, that the things work like this, because this is not the majority of the business owners that we see out there. We find completely the other way, that they are struggling, they are attached to the business. That is worse than a job, because they have to work longer hours and they cannot see the family and the friends. So how this can be by design? What is the paradigm that we have to shift the entrepreneur in order to start to make this work? And if this it will work, because other entrepreneur will tell you, no, my business is different. Um, you can do this in your business, but in my business. So what message do you have for those entrepreneurs?
So a couple of things. That idea that my business is different. So you and I were chatting before the call, and I own four different businesses, from an accounting firm to a personal care services where caregivers go into people's homes. And my experience and observation is 85% of business is the same. There's so much of business that's consistent of what needs to be accomplished. And then there's a little bit that's different in the service that we provide. But I work with people in all ranges of business and find many things to be true at the core. So by design, the virtual GM system is a step-by-step process to implement this design. And it starts with, as we talked, that first leadership piece of communicating mission and vision and values. But then it's also hiring people who resonate with that and hiring people who are, not just necessarily the right skills, but the right skills along with the same values and that who really do resonate with the purpose of the business and with the product that we're selling and the customer experience that we're creating at that's our reason for being. And then very specifically communicating not only your responsibility in your position, but what your authority is. Like we can tell people up in advance, you have the authority to make decisions within this scope, within this budget, within this, like delegating in a trusted way to people who have the skills to do the work. And that sort of fast tracks that process that you had of everyone coming to ask you questions that they really already knew the answer to. But then the other side of that, I mentioned earlier, building in the feedback loop so that we as owners can, it's like delegation is not abandonment, right? We're not here to just throw things on people's plates and walk away. We want to be a resource for people in a way that's right-sized. So in order to do that, we build in that dashboard of what are the key performance things, what are the things that when you sit in your office, you're paying attention to that let you know how your business is doing, whether it's how many times the phone is ringing, or certainly cash flow has something to do with it, or how many complaints we've received and what the nature of those are. Like being sure that you're checking in on all of those things so that you can provide mid-course corrections to the team is an important part of it. And then really, one of my most fun days, successful days, was when I had 3 different client companies, in the same week had employees who told their boss that they were writing their own standard operating procedures for their position because they were going on vacation and they wanted to make sure other people did it right. Like we
Wow.
really,
Wow,
right?
that's
Isn't that fun?
amazing.
Exactly. So that's where we want to get people where they own their job so much that they want to make sure that when they go on vacation, somebody's covering it well. And that's much different from the top-down strategy that we've been taught for years. I mean, since the 1980s, we've been told that we should work on our business. And I'll tell you a secret, Harry. People don't want to be worked on. They want to be worked with. And so
100%. 100%.
Follow
And
us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.